Chunking your chip shots or having the yips around the green is one of the most soul-destroying things that you can do in this crazy but brilliant game. If you're looking for a video that's going to explain why you chunk, why you yip, this is the perfect place to start. It's a simple guide that's going to show you all the things from setup to swing, why you chunk it, and what you need to do to not chunk or not have the yips. Because there's no point in doing the hard part, there's no point in being here close to the green, and then it takes us 4 to get down. So let's just start with number 1, grip pressure. How tight are you holding the golf club? If 10 is as tight as you could possibly hold the club and 1 is really light, it's almost going to fall out. We're really looking for it to be about a 3 or a 4. You definitely shouldn't see your fingers go white, you shouldn't see them blanch. It should be nice and light, and if you want a nice simple guide, just make some swings with your thumbs off the grip. That's roughly how light you should be holding the golf club. So even try that out, have a couple of shots. If we take those thumbs off, that's just going to lead to a nice smooth motion, nice rhythm. The hinge and the release is going to be better. A lot of people who have the yips or double hit it or chunk it can get really wristy and really hingy. So the thumbs come off, nice and light, and that's a much softer flight. Oh, and it's a nice easy way to take the tension out of the arms. So just before we completely fix your short game, make sure you click that big red subscribe button, click the thumbs up, click the bell to make sure you know about all future videos that come out every single week. So number 1, do not be strangling that golf club. Number 2 is how we set up with our shoulders. So we've got a second golf club here just to sort of illustrate that when we set up, we are ideally looking for a T shape. So flat shoulders, spine vertical, not tilted away. If you're going to be tilted anywhere, slightly towards the target is a good thing. What does this do? This moves the bottom of the swing forward. So if you're someone who chunks the ball or has the yips, quite often you could be reaching the bottom of the swing before the ball rather than the bottom of the swing after the ball. So you hit ground before the ball, or the club head reaches the bottom of its arc and starts to swing up, and that's when you can start to thin it, top it. All sorts of bad things can happen when you have a low point issue. So from that setup position, we're looking for this T shape. Flat shoulders, spine vertical, slightly tilted towards the target. A good way to do that is go reverse hands. So go left hand low. Left hand low gets you in a good position. Should get the left shoulder outside the left foot, which again is another important reference. And if we can do that, we will consistently hit the ground further to your left, closer to the target, and improve your low point, which is going to improve your strike. So there, left hand low, level shoulders, left shoulder outside the left foot, and that is really going to help the contact. So we've got a nice contact on that one. So that is a really important thing that you need to do at setup. So aim for that T shape. Don't set yourself up like this. This is a common amateur mistake. Lots of spine tilt, left shoulder much higher than the right, a bit more like a full shot setup, and it also moves the pressure towards the back foot. So number 3 is an inside takeaway. What we don't want to do is we don't want to bring that club head excessively on the inside. Again, you'll reach the bottom of the swing too soon. Fats, thins, yips, all sorts of stuff that can go wrong when you start to do that. So a couple of things to make sure you don't come too far on the inside is distance from the ball. We need to stand quite close to the golf ball for a chip shot and have the correct trigger. And what I mean by that is don't be starting the swing with just the hands and arms. Start the swing using the back of the left shoulder. So we're in, we're close, and the trigger is the back of the left shoulder. That's going to allow the club head to travel more this way, as opposed to if you were far away and got a little bit wristy, the club head could travel more this way. So in close, nice and tall, back of the left shoulder moves back, takeaway improves, and strike starts to improve. So give that a try. Just put a golf club down or put an alignment stick down as a reference point. That'll give you a guide as to where you want that club head to travel, and that should really help you around the greens. So close and tall, weight left, left shoulder, triggers the start of the backswing. So next up, once we've got a good takeaway, what we really want to make sure is we move the correct way in the backswing. And what I mean by moving the correct way, so I've placed that alignment stick down just as an example, and obviously when we are chipping and we are around the green, we want to strike ball first, ground second. So we want to strike the ground on this side of the stick. And one of the things that a lot of people do, they start left in terms of weight, but then they either shift right, which makes it much more likely to strike before the ball, or they don't really shift to the left. So you can see here, if I stay pretty central, it's very easy to get to a low point before the ball. If you look at the best wedge players, the best chippers, what they tend to do is as they swing back, they start to lean towards the target. So you'll see from here, as soon as that club starts to travel back, that head, the upper body, starts to shift this way, starts to shift towards the target. If I swing back, lean left, drop the club, it hits the ground on this side. Swing back, lean left, drop the club, hits the ground on this side. Back, lean, drop, turn. You can see when we do that and we move left, the club is always making interaction with the ground on target side. What does that mean? That means we're going to catch ball first. Less fats, less thins, less yips. One of my favourite drills that you can do to improve this is just place an alignment stick about a grip length behind the ball. As you get better at it, you can move it a bit closer, you can make it a bit more difficult. But what we want to try and do is move left and avoid that stick. Move left, avoid the stick. Gripping nice and light, move left, avoid that stick. And it's honestly such a fantastic drill that you can do. It starts to give you feedback of where your low point is. If you move back, you'll hit the stick. If you bring it on the inside, you probably start to hit that stick. So it's really, really good feedback, and if you've got one of these, probably the best short game drill is that. So those are the main things that I see in lessons. I give thousands of lessons every year. I give a lot of short game lessons, and those are the common traits I would see. Holding the club too tight, grip it nice and light. Tilted too much to the right, make sure you aim for that T shape. Get a really, really good setup. Club head moving far too much on the inside, possibly because the distance from the ball, too far away, or the wrong trigger. Too much hands and arms, not enough with the left shoulder. And then the other main thing is weight distribution. A lot of golfers not starting left enough, or staying still, or shifting off the ball, as opposed to what the best golfers in the world do, and they start to move left towards the target and land the club in a consistent position time and time again. So there you have it. Go and try all these out. Great drills, all good for low point, all good for strikes, all good for your short game, which is also going to be great for your scores. Try these out, and if you're looking for any other help, make sure you check out the description link below, where you'll see a free lesson with me via the Skillest app, which you'll just see here on the screen. So once again, thanks for watching, improve your short game, and see you next time.